Hey, welcome to Trailer Trash Games. I'd already done like a quick recording of a strategy guide for the Metal Might deck, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I thought I'd have another crack at it, make it a bit smoother. So yeah, without getting too distracted with that, I'll just jump straight into it. So just going over like for beginners, because it's a bit overwhelming when you first jump in to play Pokemon Online, especially against all the like legit themed decks, because like the ones you pay for, like say the Sun and Moon or whatever, obviously are a bit better, but not everybody jumps in with these decks. Some people try and like just earn their way through, which is what I did. So yeah, I found the Mental Might deck easily the strongest out of the free starter decks that you get. It's pretty good actually, but it does rely on you getting the cards that you need, or the main cards in the deck that are good, and not just the junk cards, because it really only has one strategy, whereas the theme decks usually have maybe 2, maybe 3 different ways to win a game, whereas the starter decks usually just have one. And Mental Might's one's pretty fun because it uses as a combo, and yeah, and this is sort of the deck that I use, like I said before, and it helped me kind of like start getting a bit of strategies going. You know, how to try and get the cards you need really quickly, how to work towards them, how to stall, so you know how to throw chump cards up while you build your good cards, so that the opponent just, you know, is killing your crappy cards and not your good cards, stuff like that. So anyway, so I'm going to jump into some of the best Pokemon cards in there. I won't really go into the trainers that much, because yeah, they're pretty standard, and yeah, it's more this combo that you need to focus on to, you know, get a decent win-loss record. Like I was easily over 50%, probably closer to 60, 65, and yeah. Alright, so the first card that's alright is Woobat, and it's not because of Woobat specifically, but it's more because of what he evolves into. So yeah, for 1 energy, you know, flip 2 coins, and you could possibly do 20 damage, more likely 10, but you could also do 0 damage, which is kind of shit. So that's not why I've talking about that card. This guy's quite good, especially if you can get him out really early. Like at the beginning of the game, he's brilliant. Otherwise, he's not very great. So you kind of really have to get lucky, which is the main theme with all the starter decks, is you need to get your cards and you need to be lucky. So yeah, so if you can get this guy out in the first, second, or it'd probably be second because he's stage 1. If you can get him out in your second turn, drop an energy on him, then you can do 30 damage. He's got 80 HP, and also if you manage to get some of the other cards that I'm going to talk about out, you can do the energy gift, and you could possibly be dropping lots of energy early, which is awesome, because, you know, I'm sure many of you have suffered it, as I have, is being energy screwed sucks. You know, like you have the cards but you can't do anything because you don't have any energy. So that's pretty good. So that's why I've included this in the kind of the okay cards. This guy's good at the start, and he's good to get you set up with your energy. Later game, he's not so great, because hopefully by then you have the next card set up, or the next card set up really. Alright, so the first thing, this is another one like the last one with the evolution. So this card's not great. So flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. Like, it's okay for stalling, but yeah, I would not be excited about this card. at all unless it was evolving into something else, which it is. So the next stage of that card is this one, and again, it's not that great. Yeah, so you can draw cards for the energy attached to it, or you can flip 2 coins and it does 20 times the amount of heads. So it basically could do 0 or it could do up to 40 damage, which is terrible really. So once again, just like with Swoobat, the first cards I showed you, you know, the stages up until the actual card that you want are pretty much throwaway. Like, I wouldn't even linger or even try and use these cards until you have hit stage 2. And this is one of the cards in your combo for this deck that you're going for the whole time. So Gallade is friggin' awesome. He does, or she, I have no idea. So Powerful Storm does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So remember, Swoobat, you know, bringing out all your energy, attaching it to Pokemon. So that's helping as well. So, you know, you want all this lots of energy, because in this guy, say, you know, say if you got 8 energy on all of your, across the board on all of your Pokemon, you know, that's 160 damage, which is solid. And then you've got the 80 damage here with Swift Lunge, and it switches out the defending Pokemon. So say if you don't want that guy to come and hit you or whatever. Anyway, 80 damage for 3 probably isn't that great, but it switches it out. The main attack you really like with this card is Powerful Storm. So chances are you don't really even need to drop the 3 energy on this card, just stick with the 2. So yeah, this is the guy that you're going for. And then the last piece of the puzzle is Miltank. Now Miltank is amazing, not because of Hammer In for the 3 energy and 60, because that is shit. What is amazing about Miltank is his powerful friends. And it is for 1 energy, you drop it in, usually it does 10 damage, but if you got a stage 2, you do an extra 70, so that's 80. So 80 damage for 1 energy is nuts. And if we go back to Gallade, we can see that that's stage 2. So, and that's basically what you need. So if you've got stage 2, that's when you throw out the stage 2 Gallade, that's when you throw out Miltank. And Miltank will go to town with that 80 damage, you know, 2 hit most things, and 1 hit a lot of things as well. So yeah, and 100 HP is not too bad either. You know, 100 HP does 80 damage for 1 energy is pretty awesome in my opinion. Now the trick, and this is what people really like, I'm super surprised that when I play against this deck that people don't do it, is they'll have Gallade, so they'll have him on the bench, they'll have Miltank on the bench, and if I say knock out one of their weaker Pokemon that are in the active slot, they'll have a choice between these 2, right? And they only have 1 of each on the bench, and they will lead with Gallade. And it's like, why would you do that? Because the whole point of having this card out is for powerful friends. And if he leads with that, if the opponent, or if you lead with this and it dies, Miltank is useless. So obviously you want to lead with Miltank always, and then come in with Gallade to finish up once Miltank's done. So, you know, I think there's like 2. Yeah, there's two Miltanks in the deck. So they're kind of like your lieutenants. You want these guys out first, and then Gallade is like your final boss. He finishes up the devastation that Miltank causes. So that's basically the nuts, the core of this deck is the combination between these two cards, and then an early game with the help of Swoobat. So you know, the 80 HP, the 30 damage, and being able to drop energy on Gallade and Miltank is awesome. Because you don't have to drop the 2 energy on just one card, you can split it between 2 however you like. So even when you don't have Gallade out fully, you know, and you're not even going to be using these guys yet, just start dropping energy on it, because you know, the max you need, or the minimum you need, is 2 and the max is 3. And you know, Swift Lunge is okay, it's not amazing, but I get the attaching energy to Pokemon helps with Powerful Storm. So yeah, that's basically it. It's really simple. You just go for these, and that's what's great about these starter decks. It's simple, so you just go straight for that. And then the other strategy, or the other element, is more universal, and that is kind of working out how you're going to exchange Pokemon with your opponent. So you always want to have a plan for their next Pokemon that's going to come up, and you always want to be the one with the last active Pokemon that's going to do damage, and who's going to dominate the table, because you don't want to take out, say, their really big Pokemon, but it costs you all of your Pokemon, so you only have junk left, and then they still have one. You know, you want to be in that position of you're the one with the last Pokemon that can still take out Pokemon. It doesn't matter how many you lose to get there, obviously, as long as it's not the 6 or so that you lose the game. But you know, if you have to exchange 3 Pokemon for their 1, and you come out with the last, you know, tough Pokemon left in the game, it's totally worth it. So yeah, a big element is trying to think maybe, you know, 1, 2, 3 steps ahead on how, you know, what Pokemon they're going to play, if you're going to be able to knock it out, and that sort of stuff. And then the other big thing is even if you can take out a Pokemon, don't take it out if you can't deal with their next Pokemon that's coming out. So you might have, like, be able to kill this Pokemon their Pokemon that's active, that's got 10 HP left. You might be able to kill it, but their next Pokemon's their big bad Pokemon, and they and you have no answer for it. You know, basically you'll knock their one out, that big guy will come in and he'll destroy you. Okay, so you want to hold off, not attack, and it might give you a couple turns to build up, or it will force them to waste energy retreating, and that's always a good thing. So yeah, I hope that helps. So that's this is the first deck I really got into and played, and sort of learnt the whole versus people as opposed to computer. I have a lot of fun with it. I still enjoy playing it a little bit, just because the Miltank and Gallade combo is really fun. Yeah, so if you found this helpful at all, give me a like. If you thought it was a bit of a waste or whatever, and just give me a thumbs down. But it was intended for beginner players and that who are struggling a little bit. So yeah, and if you enjoyed or have some feedback or whatever, leave a comment, and also subscribing would be amazing. Really appreciate some subscribers, because apparently that helps sort of circulate your videos on YouTube. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.